weird and disconnected and funky and janky. But, like, they're still enjoyable games. You just have to, like, get past the weird graphics and the weird talking and, like, the way they are. And it's the same with this book. Like, once you got past the, like, the fact that it's, like, an older book and, like, it's meant for younger age, it was a good book. I, like, enjoyed reading it for the most part.
It was a good story overall.
Yeah, like, there was a start and an end, there was mystery in the middle, and it was fine.
There were really no problems along the way.
Yeah, not very many.
Besides getting locked in the closet for, like,
Besides
an hour,
being left
maybe.
to starve.
Yeah, I was like, calm down, lady. You'll get out of there. Like, she was like, I'm gonna die here!
Girl, we've got at least 15 pages left. You're gonna be fine. I would have loved that if it did just, like, end there. And then no one ever saw Nancy again.
And, yeah, she's just dead now. No more books.
No more books. You don't need those. You don't need those. Yeah, those are my thoughts on it, at least. I do love the fact that there are fucking pictures in it.
Yes,
that was pretty dope.
Pictures are cool.
Yes.
Well drawn.
Yeah, very very well drawn. Artist did a great job. It was just there's just, like, when she meets the two girls that are, like, we're supposed to inherit money from Crowley. No, those are the daughters. The other two.
Allison and Grace.
Yeah, Allison and Grace. When she meets them and they, like, invite her into their home and they're just like, and then, like, they become fast friends, and then so much so that, like, Nancy takes them to to see if she's worth singing and, like,
right. I'm like,
she's just invited to her birthday party, like, in the same moment that they meet.
Yeah. I was just like, so the part that I want to talk about before we started was, like, the part where, like, she had to go drop off papers for her dad to the judge.
Yeah.
And the judge just invites her to his home to have dinner with his family.
Right.
And I was just like, I am so uncomfortable.
I hated that.
Oh, girl.
Like, you are so, like, he, like, complimented her for being so nice and helping her dad out, and was just like, you have to have dinner with me and my wife. I was like, no, I don't. I do not. I do not.
But she's just like, okay.
And, like, yeah. And it was, like, those parts.
She got so much free food.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh my god. I have her dinner all the time.
Oh my god, it was great.
Even shit. All the time. She conveniently
I'm all
helps.
for free food.
Yeah, well, yeah.
That's why she didn't ask for a reward. She got all that food throughout.
She didn't need it. She didn't need it.
And the police are just like, you lead the way. Like,
this is.
It's not like, come in our car and we'll protect you. Like, you lead the way. We got your back, girl.
Yeah, we got you. You go on ahead.
She's apparently an expert tracker.
Yeah.
And in the beginning, the first chapter, she's apparently a doctor because with a quick once-over, she realized nothing was broken on little Judy. Like, I'm like, you're 18, bitch.
Girl, did you go to medical school?
She said she finally got to, like, learn, like, their CPR lesson or something.
Yeah.
What the fuck? I'm like...
Guess what, guys? Nancy Drew is perfect. She knows everything. She's the Barbie doll of literary,
yes,
the literary
there you go.
world.
That's nice.
Mary Sue's.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I love the way it starts. Like, the book starts with, like, her just driving, and then...
I'm driving in my cool car my dad bought me.
Yeah, my cool convertible. My sick convertible. And then, yeah, and her father, Carson Drew, a well-known lawyer. Just like, thanks. Great.
Cool.
Love that information.
I love that Judy's parents died in a boat explosion.
Yeah, it's just not explained.
How unrealistic is that? Like, they couldn't have been, like, died in a car crash or died in a fire or something, but, like, a boat explosion.
Gotta establish that there's danger in this world.
Okay.
I forgot that there was this part, but, like, the first page, like, the very first chapter, chapter 1, it, like, introduces, like, Nancy, and she's like, she had just delivered some legal papers for her father, and she says out loud to herself, it was sweet of Dad to give me this car for my birthday, she thought, and it's fun to help him in his work. Her father, blah, blah, blah. Smiling, Nancy said to herself, Dad depends on my intuition. Like, fuck you, Nancy!
I know, it sounds like she's been helping him for forever, too, and yet at the end, this is her first
Yeah, it's her first case.
Because it's the first book, but...
It's the first case, but she's been helping her dad.
Yeah, and everyone's like, you're following the footsteps of your dad, but he's a lawyer, not a detective.
Same thing.
No. It's not the same.
Yeah, so the entire book starts with like Nancy driving her convertible, and then this little girl like darts in front of her in a roadway, just as like this van like pulls out and nearly runs over the child, just nearly destroys this little girl. But the little girl survives by falling into like a creek. She falls off a bridge into a creek. Yep. And Nancy's like, "Oh shit!" and pulls over the car and saves the girl, takes her to her home, and then these two old ladies who the little girl lives with because her parents died in a boating accident, a boat explosion. Like it would have been fun if they were like boating accident or something,
like
but
they
no,
fell overboard and accidentally drowned. Like
we lost them at sea, whatever. Boat explosion. So like, and these two aunts basically just like are indebted to Nancy and start telling Nancy their entire life story. Like about Judy, about their like we were supposed to have money but we didn't get any money.
But I guess it's okay.
It was like immediately there is no like hiding anything from Nancy. She will find it because you will just tell her.
She's one of those faces.
She's one of those magical abilities where everyone just wants to talk to her. And it's because Nancy's so nice. People feel comfortable with Nancy. She's a very nice lady, and she's not a gossip.
No, anything but. Only facts.
And only facts. She's a very proper lady. But yeah, so they tell her, like, you know, this is what happened. And so, like, they were told... This is where we get introduced to the mystery, which is that these two great aunts were supposed to be left money by their cousin, uncle.
I don't remember.
Some sort of relation.
Their cousin?
I think it's their cousin.
Yeah. The only ones not related to him are Grace and Allison.
Yeah. So they were supposed to get money from one of their rich relatives when he died, but when he did die, the will that was like occurred, like the one that they received, gave all the money to another like already decently rich family.
The Tophams.
Or the Tophams.
Tophams or Topham?
Topham.
Topham.
Tophams is good. No, Tophams is good.
Because that's what they eat. The top of ham.
So, but because of this, the aunts are now struggling, and they wanted to use that money to provide for Judy, the little girl who nearly died because her parent, and then, you know, she doesn't have any parents because they died in a boating explosion. So they're upset, and they don't know what to do, and they're scared. And Nancy is, like, intrigued by this. She's immediately intrigued by, like, you know, the fishiness of the will. And then they find out that a bunch of their silver was stolen. Because back when people had really...
My silver candlesticks.
Yeah, the silver candlesticks! And then their forks, too, or something.
Yeah.
And something else was missing, at the end. She's like, oh, they took this, too! Dang it!
Yeah, because they the van that, like, darted out... coming from their house because the aunts were selling some of their furniture.
Well, no, that's not even what happened. These dudes just showed up and were like, hey, we're gonna, like, sell some stuff if you want. And they're like, this is natural and normal? Okay.
It's the 30s.
It's the 30s.
It's the 30s. This is normal.
We don't know. We weren't there. We don't know if this was normal.
How could that be normal? We're just gonna take your things and... we'll bring the money later.
Yeah, it's fine. It's totally fine. Yeah, so they took some furniture from them, but like they also stole a bunch of their like expensive stuff that they had they wanted to keep. And they left. So Nancy is fully pulled into this because she's like, I will help you find your missing stuff. But in the end ends up helping find the proper will. Whatever. Also, I love the fact because like you eventually meet the Matthews. I can't remember their names. Two brothers. Those two brothers were supposed to marry those two sisters. So like, and then you find out that they're both blood related. So it's like, ooh, the 30s.
Distantly, but yeah.
Well, they're like second cousins or something.
But the whole time I was like, because the Matthews are all about, like, but we want to go travel and, like, do all these things. And I'm like, they're living together. And I was like...
It's that gay couple. I know. I was just like, it's... In my head, I was
that's not what happened with the wedding.
Yeah, I would have liked it better if instead of them being... The Matthews being brothers and the aunts being sisters, they were a lesbian couple and a gay couple.
It's the 30s.
But it's the 30s, and that's unacceptable. I also love that because they didn't get married, they just live together. They're just like, well, we didn't get married. So I'm gonna move in with sister, and we're gonna live together. And then the Matthews were like, well, I couldn't marry Edna. I think that was one of their names. I'm gonna move in with you, and we're gonna live on the farm.
I liked that an entire chapter was named after something that happened within like 3 lines, like the whole like dog thing, the dangerous dog. That like I was waiting for the dog the whole chapter, and the last paragraph, like a dog attacked her. By the way, the dog, it was like the police dog.
Yeah.
What is a police dog? Is that a German Shepherd?
Yeah, I believe so.
Probably.
Like that's what they called them.
Yeah, like, the police dog.
Okay. So I was like, are the police here?
Yeah, I was like,
where are the police?
Dog? Or is it like
did it have like a little jacket?
Dog?
That said police.
Yeah, the jacket.
That would be so cute.
Yeah. Oh my god.
A little puppy.
Police.
Police pup. Yeah, that's like, that like sets up this entire thing, and then Nancy, who's like, I'm just gonna try to find, their furniture. I'm not gonna try to like, I'm not gonna
get involved.
Yeah, I'm not gonna get involved. I'm not gonna do that. And then she gets super involved. Just
so involved.
So
like
involved.
A page later.
Like literally just in it. To the point where she goes over to the Topham's house. And she's just like, hello.
I'll sell you some tickets. Let me in your house.
I'm gonna just totally manipulate this situation.
Yeah.
But I'm not a gossip. So I'm a lady.
Not a I'm proper. I'm proper. And then she tells her dad about it, and her dad was like, well, if you can, like, currently, like, we don't have, like, the will, so we can't, like, test the other, like,
do anything.
The whole reason that the will was hidden confused me so much.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I don't know why.
Living with the top.
Why?
Because they were taking care of him.
But, like, he didn't like being there. And he obviously had money.
He was gonna die.
But
want to use all of his money being in a facility where it costs a lot of money when he was going to give all of his money away because he was a nice man.
We're just trying to give reasons, but we don't know.
I have no idea. I don't really care. He hid it. He wanted to hide it.
Why in the other will did he give it all to the Tophams?
I think they made him.
Yeah, I think it was like a.
Because I wanted to know more about that whole situation. Like, what was actually going on? Were they, like, locking him in a room and all this?
I mean, until you write the will to say that we get all the money, you will stay in the dungeon.
He still gave dude some money, but not his family.
Yeah, he gave. It was
a very small amount of money.
Yeah, very small. Compared to the 20,000 that he gave everyone else. He gave a measly 5 to them.
At least it was something, geez.
Yeah, I wish I had $5,000.
That'd be
great.
That's the times we're in now. We're just like, oh wow, that's.
Could you imagine what that got you back then?
Yeah,
that's like $1 million.
That's a lot. $20,000 back then. Fuck.
Let's look it up. Good idea, Brittany.
Brittany, you're fucking cheap.
Calculate the value of $1 in 1930.
Do it.
Calculate. So $1 is worth $14.33. In 2018.
Wow. Fuck.
So let's multiply. Nope. Cancel.
Calculator.
So what? So
That's my
20,000 times 14.
Fuck! I would love that.
So
that's enough to buy a house.
Yeah, that's a house. So they all got a house.
What's 5,000 times
Topham.
14?
Not a house.
Not a house.
It's a car.
Yeah, it could be a car.
71.
Oh, that's not bad. Yeah, that's not bad. So,
he's still complaining.
Yeah. Well, more so his daughters complain.
More so his wife.
God, we have to get jobs. We're 18 and we have to get jobs.
I know.
All right,
so ugly stepsisters.
Yeah. I didn't mind Mr. Topham.
Yeah, he seemed like
it was his wife that was the worst.
Was the worst.
Yeah.
Because I think Mr. Topham was actually Crowley's like relative.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah. And I feel like she was like the fucking like brains behind.
The girls are always, for whatever reason, Like the whole.
Well, because they're not the ones who are working. They're like, oh, I want to live this lifestyle.
But we don't have the money, but you have an uncle somewhere that has money, and he will die. We need to befriend him.
Lock him in the dungeon until he gives us his money.
It could happen. Yeah, so...
Gracious.
I'm, like, trying to remember everything, because I finished this a while ago. It's been a minute, and I also didn't take notes.
Oh.
So...
I mean, my notes aren't... Mine are, like, 1-2 lines.
Yeah, I didn't take any notes, but I highlighted a bunch of stuff in my...
And then we meet Ada and Isabel.
How did you highlight that? Oh, never mind. I'm just not gonna... Nope.
Kindles can do that.
Oh, I like every time that Hannah is brought up, we have to say her full name.
Oh, yeah.
Hannah Gruen.
They love their maid. Or
oh, yeah.
Hannah's great.
Hannah's great, yeah.
She's like the BFF. She's the mom.
Yeah. She's the mom and the best friend.
I wonder if...
And the maid. She's the everything.
So, Brittany, this is a question for you, but when, in the books, do you remember where Ned and Bess and George come into play?
That's what I was trying to remember.
Yeah.
And then the crossover with Frank and Joe happens.
Yeah, at some point. Those are the Hardy Boys. Oh, Frank and Joe, Hardy Boys.
Right.
Ned Nickerson is Nancy Drew's boyfriend.
When she mentioned the ball, I was like, is he in the first, or the dance?
Yeah, is he in the first
Is he in the
and
first
then Bess
book?
And George are two girls that are Nancy's friends.
Bess and George.
Yeah, those are their names, yeah. That's why I love George. She's like one of my favorite characters.
Both of them.
Yeah. But like I remember them like they're so prominent in the games that
and in
I forget
the way later books.
Yeah, and then I forget that in the early ones they didn't exist.
Well, this is only the first book, guys.
Yeah, no, I know. It's just like it's like man, I wish Bess and George were here because we could call them and be like, hi, I need a hint. Help me.
I was like, every time there was like a lull moment in where she was like thinking about and trying to solve like what's happening, and it's like I already know what's happening. I was like, this is where they put puzzles in to the games. These moments.
So that'll be fun. Let's talk about the games because like this though I know you've never played an Nancy Drew. You should play an Nancy Drew game with me. We'd have a good time. we could stream it. You can come over and we'll stream it. Because it's like, it literally follows the exact formula of the books. Like we learn about, in the games, Nancy gets hired more so than anything else. But there are some games where she just kind of falls into a mystery. Like in the remaster of Secrets Can Kill, the first one, she's accused of starting a fire and burning down a building. So she needs to solve a mystery to get out of, to prove her innocence. Yep. And there's times where she's being hired by people for help, but a lot of times she just kind of stumbles into the mystery. She just goes to a place and she's just there when it.
Oh, look, there happens to be a mystery around.
Yeah, but a lot of the games are her being hired and going somewhere. But the same thing happened. She meets everybody. She talks to them. They give her a lot more information than they should, considering
Well, at least in the game, she's more of a participant in these conversations. They're not just telling her everything. She's asking questions.
Yeah, she's actually asking them leading questions.
And then a lot of times they're like, "Why are you asking so many questions?"
Yeah, they question why she's so many questions.
I just like knowing things.
Undercover. She's not trying to she's like, I'm here investigating the thing. She's usually like, I'm gonna be undercover as a student so I can figure stuff out or whatever.
Yeah, because she's only 18, so she can't say I'm a detective.
Because she's not. And then there's always a couple of leads. And she finds some stuff, and then she'll get trapped somewhere by someone and needs to get out of it. That'll be a puzzle where you will die if you do not do it right. Oh, okay. A lot of time it's a bomb that you need to disarm. Times it's you get locked in a closet and they set the thing on fire, and then you have to
the woodshed.
Oh. I'm glad she is 18.
Yeah.
Seems like something very dangerous.
And then after that, you find you have to do 2 final puzzles, and then you have a showdown with the actual bad guy, and then it's done. And there's an epilogue, and then the epilogue, she introduces the next game, which they did in the book. She's like, oh my
god! The way they did it was so silly. Oh my god, I have to bring it up.
Oh my god, so funny. I was dying. I was like, are you kidding me? Yeah, and This is the first mystery I've solved alone, she thought. I wonder if I'll ever have another one half so thrilling. As Nancy stood looking wistfully at the old clock, she little dreamed that in the near future she would be involved in the hidden staircase mystery, a far more baffling case than the one she had just solved. But somehow, as Nancy gazed at the timepiece, she sensed that exciting days were soon to come. Nancy ceased daydreaming as the clock was handed to her and looked at the Hoover girls. I'll always prize this clock as a trophy of my first venture as a detective, she said with a broad smile. The end.
So, I've never actually played the game based on this one.
Neither have I.
So I'm wondering if it's the same because the clock looks different.
Ooh, let me look it up.
Because it's like broken. So I'm assuming it's more puzzly.
It's still called Secret of the Old Clock?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if it's like based on this one or if they were just like taking the name and being like, hey, it's connected but not really.
Oh yeah, I do remember. Like, I remember seeing the image of this one. I don't remember if it is the same. Let's look at the images.
I mean, I'm playing all the Nancy Drew games on my Twitch channel. If you ever want to come by, people will. So
later.
I've played one on my Twitch channel. I beat it in sitting because they're not that hard.
No.
Look at this fucking guy. Okay. Yeah, it starts off in her car, like. Looking at like some of the images that you see,
oh my God. What if it's exactly the same?
I'm assuming it is,
except like more modern-y.
Yeah, like not even. It looks pretty old. It looks so. Ooh, that's terrifying.
Oh my God.
So here's the fun thing about Nancy Drew games is they're not scary. They're not meant to be scary.
Not supposed to.
You just get scared.
You get scared.
Like
there's tense moments.
There's only for every Nancy Drew game there's only 2 songs. There's the main Nancy Drew theme, which is kind of creepy sounding, and the theme for that specific game, which could be anything. And they will play on loop.
Yep.
So like,
oh my God. Except for I just finished Secrets Can Kill, and whenever you're in the school, it's like 3 different songs.
Oh,
they're all creepy, and they all like weirdly jump between each other. Like they're not synced well. I don't know what was happening. It was creepy.
Yeah. So like, and like that'll happen. Like sometimes the music will just cut out, and then it'll be just quiet, and then it'll start up with the Nancy theme, which starts off like do 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 do, and it's like, oh fuck, what the fuck is happening?
And you're just like talking to a dude.
Yeah, it's quiet. Nothing is happening. You're just walking a hallway, and you're just scared. You're just scared.
Nothing happens.
And like, in like the Secrets of Blackmore Manor. There's a moment where you're like investigating parts of it, and like the old ones are especially creepy because the graphics are fucked up. just like not okay. Like, and like they haven't figured out like transition screens very well. So like there's a moment in Blackmore Manor where you're investigating a secret room that you found and you're looking at shit, and then when you leave it, you meet the tutor of one of the girls that is a Blackmore or whatever. But the way that it happens is you open the door and it just is like just her face, and then her gasp of going, oh, why would you do that? And it's like it's not meant to be scary, but it's so scary. It's not okay.
Maybe it is supposed to be. Maybe it's broken and they were gonna fix it and they were like, this works.
I think it's like scarier because it's so old. Like it's meant to be like a scary moment for you, but it's so much scarier.
I haven't played
like ooh, you've just solved a puzzle, and you're like, cool, I'll come investigate this later because I can't do anything with it now. And then you leave, and then she's just there, and you're just scared because you've just been focused on the screen for so long because you're like looking at a slide puzzle or something, and you're just like you're still that close to the screen when you leave the room. It's not okay. Oh, it's not good. I wish there was more scary parts like that in the book.
There wasn't really anything that was like panicky. I mean, she has a moment of panic being locked in the closet, but I was like, it's just a door.
Did you love that she went to Moon Lake? That was amazing.
I was like,
so there's one of Brittany and mine's favorite Nancy Drew game is the Ghost Dogs of Moon Lake. It's probably the scariest one.
The ones that I've played at least. But yeah, oh my god,
it's really scary because you go to Moon Lake, and you're staying at a friend's house that you bought. You get there, your friend is gone, and you're just like, where'd she go? The phone rings, you pick it up, and it's your friend, and she's like, get out of the house! The dogs! And it's just like, what? And then back, and these dogs start attacking the house. And
they're like these glowy-eyed Rottweilers, just like.
It's like legit fucking
I don't know
scary.
if I want to see that.
Oh my god, when you're 8, it's terrifying.
You're scared. This is the game.
Oh god.
Yeah, it's fucking. This is the house you're staying at.
That's creepy.
And like there's times
that's like the creepiest one because so much of it is at night when you're in the house.
Yeah, oh my god, and everything creaks, and there's like a loose like part of the floor, so if you walk on that part, you'll die instantly.
Yep.
Because you fall through into the basement. But yeah, like
and then,
there's
you have to walk through a cemetery to find worms and stuff, but it's like silent.
Yeah, it's quiet.
In a cemetery, and it's silent.
Nothing. Yeah, like I said, there's like 2 songs that just loop, and there'll be like a pause in between the loops. And so, like, at some point, the music just cuts out, and you're just alone. It's like looking for worms. And, like, yeah, like, the game during the day is fine, because you're just doing stuff, but there are times where you have to go out at night, and it's like, I don't want to go out at night, the freaking ghost dogs are out at night. I don't want to deal with that shit.
But it's okay.
And then
They're the sweetest dogs ever.
Yeah, they turn out to be the nicest dogs on the planet. It's fine.
All fine.
They were all real dogs. They were not fake. And they were nice. They were just being...
No dogs were harmed in the making of this Nancy Drew
this Nancy Drew game. But yeah, it's just like... It's so eerily scary. And I feel like they took like the foundation of these books and like made it more interesting in a game. Like I think these books work better as a game than they do as a book.
When towards the end, when her dad is talking about another weird hidden will case, someone mentioned like a Chinese puzzle, and I'm like, why aren't there any puzzles in this book?
Yeah, that would be cool. That would be amazing, because like I think because it's hard to write a puzzle like that. I guess
it is, but they should still do it.
They should still try, obviously. But that's why I think like the Nancy Drew formula works so well as a computer game. Mm-hmm. That it does as
someone figured that out and did it. Her Interactive.
Yeah. Thank you for the things, the gift you have given us. Like lovely little tangent onto the Nancy Drew game. Play the Nancy Drew games; they're fun. Yeah, a good time. You'll be terrified, I promise. There's like one that I have that's like Danger by Design or something like that, where you go undercover as a personal assistant for a fashion designer in France. Ooh. And she wears like a mask over her face, and and literally at the end of the game you have to fight her. Yep. And I was like, what?
Fight her? Whoa, do you ever get to see her face?
No.
So like Phantom of the Opera thing?
Yeah, she's just like wearing this mask and this weird white like cat suit, and she's like fighting you, and I'm like, girl, my name is Nancy Drew, I do not fight, I am a lady.
I do not gossip and I do not fight.
And it was so weird because I'm like, Nancy's never fought. Like, she usually like runs away, or she like tricks them, or like does some sort of like weird like. She's like the Fred of like the Scooby Gang, where she's always like traps. They're cool. Like she doesn't fight. She just gives she just does that. So it was so weird that I actually had to properly fight this lady, and it was
so weird.
But like it was like literally it was a puzzle where I just had to dodge her attacks and hit like certain buttons. But like it was just like, what? We're fighting? We don't fight. We never
Nancy,
fight.
What is happening?
What's happening? Because like, how could you imagine this girl fighting?
No,
not in that dress suit combo.
Nope.
Her stylish suit combo. I love that. I love how it was like a tan dress and a blazer. I'm like, that is not stylish. Girl, you look frumpy.
Frumpy as fuck.
I love how she got her dress to the dance too.
Yeah, oh
like
my god.
50% off because there's a little tear.
Yep.
That they could just like.
That's when I was questioning what like time period this was from. I was like, you can't shop for a dress by yourself? Like there has to be a lady to give you options?
Yeah, I forgot that was the thing. It was like, oh, the 30s.
Well, I was like, why are you waiting to go looking at
right?
Just like look at the rest. That was back before like ready to wear was a thing. Mm-hmm. It's like you used to have to go to like ready to wear is like stuff that is made like mass produced, but before like in the 30s and like before that happened, you had to get stuff specifically designed for your body.
Fitted, yeah.
So like it's just like interesting to think like of like how our life's changed, and it's like how much better our life would be if we could actually have stuff like properly like fit to our body.
Now it's
we'd look like Nancy.
Yeah, we'd look so much like Nancy. It'd be ridiculous. Because like now I have to when I go shopping for pants, I have to like check like 6 different sizes to see which one actually fits me.
Yep, based on
like
who made
I'm
it.
in a different store that I normally like shop at. Like, I know my size at Target. I got that one locked down. Everywhere else, who fucking knows?
At Loft.
Yeah, Loft is good. Loft is good.
Like, yeah, I'm totally a 4.
Yeah, I'm totally a 4. Thank you,
totally
Loft.
an 8 for something else.
Yeah, I'm a size 8 at Target, and I think I'm like a 6 at Loft. I'm like, that's nice.
Loft's awesome.
I like that. That feels good. I wonder if this is why women don't know their size. Like,
no, it's definitely
that's why.
Like, yeah. But why we have such stupid, like, fucking rules for our sizes and stuff is because, like, women didn't need to know. When men shop for suits, they could just be like, yeah, this is my size. This is perfect. That, like, my inch size, like, my inseam is this, and my waist is this, and they could find it easily. But for women, everything had to be tailored in. So when they did this ready-to-wear conversion, it just fucked. It just got fucked up completely. It's interesting. This book has been eye-opening to how the world changed into our world.
In 80 years.
In 80 years. Who was the president when was that?
What?
In the 1930s.
What year was it specifically?
1930.
Is it exactly 1930?
Yeah, first copyright 1930.
Well, then
Herbert Hoover.
Oh, cool.
Anniversary and not the 80th.
Whatever, who cares? Who gives a shit? Well, I mean, it could have been copyrighted, and then it could have been like...
I'm just being excuses and mumbling right now.
Which president was blamed for the Great Depression, and why?
Oh,
that
fuck.
question also came up.
Is up there?
Oh, yeah, this is like the 1930s. Dude, we were in the fucking heat of the Great Depression at this time.
No wonder everyone's pouring this book.
Yeah.
April.
Oh my god, I didn't even think about that.
They all like dying farms, and we're like, why? Why are you so
Everything
poor?
crashed the year before.
Nancy's father was a lawyer, so he's fine.
He was the best-known lawyer.
Yeah, like, they live in River Heights, which is like... It's like a community of, like, well-to-do people, so they weren't affected by the, like, Great Depression in any way, shape, or form. So they have they're just out of, like, touch with the rest of the world. Or whatever.
They have no phones.
I know. I kept forgetting, like, can I use your phone? It's like, oh, shit, right, they don't have cell phones. Fuck.
Like, the lady was like...
I don't have a phone.
Like,
I fell, and I don't have a phone, so I was just gonna die here.
Yeah, she literally was like... I was like, this is the saddest moment right now. This
like,
lady was gonna die. Because, like, she couldn't get up. She fell. There was no one around.
There was no life alert back then, guys.
There was no phone. I'm, like, crying.
Like, how often do you think people just found dead bodies after the smell started?
Oh
probably a lot, because there's like you still have that happen now of just like people finding like because like people I think in London that recently happened where like they like this lady she was like paid up to like a certain point, so like they never had to like her rent at least was paid up to a certain point, so they never had to check on her. But it wasn't until, like, a smell started, like, coming in, and then they checked on it, and, like, they just found this super decomposed body. And I guess it had been there for, like, 5 years. And, like, so that shit still happens. So it's just, like, if, you don't have any friends or family...
I feel like you would smell it before 5 years
Well, it depends on where, like... Because, like, I mean, like, I think this was in London, so, like, they had, like, more, like, reinforced walls back then in this apartment building.
Got it.
So maybe, who knows? I don't know. I don't know how strongly a dead body smells. I'm
assuming very.
I don't really hang around dead bodies that often, so I don't know.
Each their
Not
own.
to brag, but
No,
I don't hang around dead bodies.
A couple.
I've only smelled a handful in my lifetime. No, but, like, it's, like, that shit still happens, like, consistently. So, like, I can only imagine that in the 1930s,
like every other day.
Yeah, it just happened all the time. If you had no friends or family who checked up on you.
Right. Then the neighbor just volunteers. She's like, I had no idea. I'll go over there every day.
It's like, well,
Will you?
Will you?
You know, life
for the first week.
Right.
Well, I mean, this was back when women didn't have to have jobs, so it gave her something to do. When all the women had to do was just run a successful household.
Sounds nice.
Sounds great. I'm in.
Why did women have to be all?
Why did we have to
We
modernize?
want jobs. Like we could have been just relaxing back at home.
Because I wanted the choice to be able to.
We ain't got one anymore. Everyone's got to work.
I mean, no, you still have the choice to find someone rich enough to take care of you and you not have to work. It's just
Know anyone rich?
no.
Me either.
Unfortunately, no. Because we also went away with, like, the debuting thing where, like, women were like, these women are now in the market for eligible bachelors or some kind. And now, like, who knows if you'll ever find a rich man. How do you even find a rich man? I don't even know.
Are they labeled?
I mean, kind of. They have specific clothes, specific cars.
Yeah.
You can fake rich.
You can be rich pretty easily, actually.
Well, that's when you have to do the whole dating and screening part of the relationship.
That's the work.
That's the hard. That's
Might
the
as
worst.
well just not try, I guess.
Free screen.
You just like put out like using.
I don't want it.
Yeah, like you would go into like ZipRecruiter or something, and it's like looking for a husband, must be wealthy, and I have this and I have this.
Let me see.
Only serious offers, please. Upload your resume. Will be reviewed.
Just put that up on Craigslist.
Yeah, don't do Craigslist.
No, let's not do that.
But that's the only place where you could put something like that, unless you do the actual newspaper.
You could probably get away with putting it up on some job websites if you
Facebook Marketplace
for like maybe a few hours until someone reported it.
For a little bit until it gets like flagged, but you could probably get away with it. Because if you get enough keywords in there, they might not realize it until someone be like, "Hey, did you guys realize that this was a job opening for a husband?" What? No, we didn't know. Because you could name it something really weird and obscure, so it's not looking for a husband. It could be I don't even know.
Partner needed for life project.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go. Did it.
There's
Let's do it. Let's do it now. I got it.
Let's experiment, guys. See what will happen. Anyway, we should get back to this book.
Probably.
So, well, what else happened?
I don't remember. She goes, she's
living a dangerous life.
Yeah, she's
trying to catch bad guys.
Yeah.
Like that.
That's true. She meets all of the people that would have potentially gotten money from the will and learns their story, figures out what happened. Then she conveniently runs into one of her friends, I don't remember her name, who's trying to sell tickets to this charity ball.
Helen?
Who knows? Who gives a shit? She was only there for that moment. And Nancy's I can take the tickets from you and I'll sell them. And her friend was trying to sell them as quickly as possible because she was heading up to Moon Lake for a pre-summer camp. So all the counselors would go up there to hang out before all the actual campers showed up. So Nancy takes the tickets from her so that the girl can go. And the girl's oh, you should come. And Nancy's oh, maybe, sure, yeah, I'll think about it. I'm kind of in the middle of something. And then she takes the tickets to the Tophams to, as a way to get into the house because she learns from the old lady who was gonna die without a phone that,
there was a clock.
That Crowley told her that he had come to her before he had died, saying,
Can't find it.
I'm gonna write another will. It's gonna be in the clock.
What?
And, apparently there was, he had to hide it.
Why? Hide it at the old lady's house.
Because the Tophams would have destroyed it if they found it.
No one visits the old lady. They would have never known.
They said he was an odd man, and he was
and the two witnesses to his will happened to die a month after him.
He died in April.
I'm that seems fishy.
Something else is going on.
Either way, who knows why, whatever. But basically, she figures out that it's supposed to be in an old clock of Crowley's. So she's I gotta get into the Topham's house to see if I can find the clock. So she uses those tickets as a way to get in, and she talks to Mrs. Topham, who's a real piece of work. And just like they talk, and like Nancy ends up talking, like asking very, very nonchalantly, like bringing up like Crowley's old furniture and shit. And then Mrs. Topham lets loose that they moved all of it to their summer home in Moon Lake, which conveniently is where the camp is that her friend was going to.
Now I have an excuse to go.
What? And then Ada and Isabel show up, and they're nasty because they're nasty. And
with
then
their
Mr.
ugly
Topham
faces.
shows up with their ugly faces. Then Mr. Topham shows up. He's like, I'm gonna take tickets. Like, I'm gonna buy all of them.
Keep the change.
Yeah, we need to like. It was like he said like we need it to like elevate our status or something like that. Whatever. Yeah. And so he buys the tickets,
like,
and then Nancy's like,
in the pamphlets as beneficiaries.
No, he paid $100, so that's $1,400.
Yeah. Fuck.
Now.
Keep the change.
Like.
Fuck. Shit. Anyway, so she's like,
tickets to a ball.
So she tells her dad that she's gonna, like, if it was cool if she goes to this like thing for a week, and her dad's like, yeah, sure, whatever. So she packs up a bag and she heads to Moon Lake to go to the camp as a front for going to check out the.
Why wouldn't you tell your dad that I'm going to investigate this thing?
I don't know. I feel like there was a reason, but I don't remember it.
Maybe she did tell him. I don't think she did.
Maybe. I don't think so either. Maybe because she didn't want to, like, I might be breaking into this house. Because her dad's a lawyer, and it's really hard to hide that fact.
That's true. Well, she didn't, break in.
She didn't plan to.
She didn't plan to break in, it just kind of happened.
The door was just sort of open.
Which conveniently is a situation that Nancy is in a lot, where she's just like...
if the door is open...
Lucky.
That's not breaking in. That's just trespassing.
Yeah, that's just trespassing.
They basically very large difference.
Asked us to get into the house. But anyway, she goes to Moon Lake. She spends like the day or like the first day or two with like the actual girls because she wants to get to the house. And they go into the lake, and the lake. Fun fact: the Moon Lake is named Moon Lake because it's the shape of a crescent moon. You'll learn that in the game because you can pull up a map and it's
nice.
There. It's like looks like a crescent moon. And the fastest way to get to anything is by crossing the lake. But like, and funny enough, in the Ghost Dogs and Moon Lake, you also have to fix a boat to be like in the middle.
It's the same exact scene.
Yeah, exact same thing. So they have like they're on the lake and they're enjoying the day, and then the next day Nancy's like, "No, I need to do something. I can't hang out with you girls. I gotta go." She gets in the boat and she tries to like go to the house because she spots where it kind of is on the thing, and it just dies on her in the middle of the lake, and she just sits out in the sun.
Takes her hours.
Yeah,
she's so thirsty, so
thirsty.
Hungry.
She just sits out in the lake for hours and hours, near death, decrepit, dying. And then she gets the boat to work and she drives back to shore.
Yeah, and then she was like, part of me considered like swimming to shore. I was like, just do that. You're solving a mystery. Like,
get the boat later.
Come on.
It's
just a lake. It'll be fine wherever it goes.
Yep. It's just a boat. It's just a boat.
You can swim back to it. Even.
And then, like, when she gets back, everyone's like, "Where have you been all day?" And she's like, "I got trapped in the sea, like almost died."
It's not that big of a lake. Like, you would have been able to see her.
Then they go get food.
Yeah,
more food.
And the next day, Nancy's like, "I need to leave," and she packs back.
Peace. I'm gonna drive this time.
Yeah, so she drives and goes to the house. And then she thankfully goes, like, when she gets to the house, she goes to the lake to make sure that it is the house that she thinks it is, to see, like, where it was from where she saw it at the lake. And because she did that, when she walks back, she realizes that there are people, like, by the house or something. Or, like, no, it was like she passed a van on the way, the same similar-looking van.
She saw the tracks. And then when she was walking back up, she saw that the doors were open. And she's like, they didn't mention that they were moving.
Oh, weird. And then when she goes inside the house, she's like looking around and shit, and then she like turns back to the window at some point and she sees a guy just like coming walking up to the door. She's like, "Oh shit." And she tries to hide.
It's a guy.
She hides in the closet.
She hides in the one room that they still need to move furniture out of.
Conveniently. Like, go to the room that doesn't have furniture.
Right.
But like she like when they come in, like they talk about how like they saw a girl drive up. And, like, if she hadn't gone to the lake and if she had gone straight to the house, Who knows what could fucking happen? But maybe they wouldn't have come back. But also maybe like she wouldn't have gotten locked into the closet by the dude. Cause girl had to sneeze. She's an idiot.
Jesus. I knew that was gonna happen.
Yeah, like of course it was. Of course it was gonna fucking happen. That's something that would happen in the game too. Like we'd be like
something I would do.
Snooping on it, and then suddenly Nancy would be like, achoo! And we're like, Nancy, what the fuck? Shut up! Like we as like the player are like, are you fucking kidding me right?
I didn't do this. You did this.
Yeah, like it'll be like asterisk sneeze. Like it's like just like, and then they turn to the door and you're like, fuck. That was
hated the hiding scenes. So nerve-wracking.
Yeah, oh yeah. But like so they discover her in the closet and they're just like, oh, you fuck gotta fuck.
I'm gonna lock you in here because that's a solution.
Yeah, not just kill her immediately like normal people would have, but like just lock her in a closet to start.
I mean, there is a leap between burglarizing and murdering, so.
I guess that's true.
They're not murderers.
I mean, who knows? In the 1930s, those could have been the same thing.
Because, like, with the other guy, they just locked him in the shed.
Yeah, to die.
So,
conveniently, he didn't.
Breaking doors isn't a possibility.
No. Well, I mean, to give Nancy credit, she did try. She tried to break the door.
I feel like she could have tried a little harder.
She could have. You're not wrong. But she's also just a 1930s frail woman.
Right.
18-year-old. They don't do much of anything.
That's true. There's a lot of noise coming. I don't know if you can hear it.
I can hear it.
Boom! Boom! Can you hear
I'm
that?
sure it's fine.
And then the ceiling just, like, collapses.
I'm sure it's definitely not someone getting murdered and their body getting stuffed into the dryer. I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure it's fine. I no reason. There also is, like, the electrical is, like, right behind that wall. Dude, that's fucking loud. Can you stop?
I'm trying to do a podcast here.
I just go running out there like, excuse me, sir!
Trying to do something.
Or madam. Can you please shut up? Thank you.
Talking about Nancy Drew.
Shut the fuck up.
You shut the fuck up. Anyway, so Nancy tries to get out, but she can't, and so she's defeated, and she's sad, and she cries a little bit. Does she cry a little bit? I feel like she cries a little bit.
She does.
Yeah, she panicked. And then,
panic, you cry.
And then, thankfully, the groundskeeper, who was supposed to be watching the house, who got trapped in the shed by the burglars, comes through and he's like, I'm gonna get you guys! And then Nancy's like screaming at the door, like, help, help! And he just like thinks that she's one of the burglars.
Don't think you can fool me with your girl voice.
So her solution is to scream.
Yeah, just scream.
You can't fake that.
Yeah, you can't fake that.
And his reply is like, no one
get it.
Girl.
A guy could not pull off hysterics like that. That's hysterical. You must be a girl.
Once Nancy gets out, she like she tells the guy like, would you be able to file a police report? Wait. Do you remember what they look like? Blah blah blah. And so they go to the nearest police station and like tell them what happened. So now they're on like a manhunt. And then Nancy's like, I'm gonna see if I can fucking find them. She tries to like track them down using like
her awesome hunting skills,
amazing sleuth abilities, and she. I knew it was gonna make you angry.
All over you.
I'm gonna sleuth all over you. But like, she ends up like figuring out that they're gonna be going to like this town. I don't remember what it's called. Because it's like
there's a lot of towns.
Yeah,
in here.
There's a lot of towns. So she starts like following like a road there, and then she sees like these tracks that come off because one of like the highway is closed or something, and she sees the tracks and she's like, oh shit, following the tracks. And so she follows the tracks and she stops at this inn, and like she's like, maybe they stopped.
I feel like
and
that
she
inn
gets
is
out.
in one of the games too.
Probably.
It had such a distinct name. It's like Black Horse Inn or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it's gotta be. So like she goes to this inn, and as she's walking up to the door, she sees the 3 burglar dudes
eating food,
just sitting in there. And she's like,
"Oh
shit, they're here." But where's the van? And there's like a barn, like it's probably back there. And she's like, "It's probably in the barn." Sure enough, it's in the barn.
The barn is unlocked.
Barn is unlocked.
And the keys to the van under the
mat.
Under the mat.
Because that's where people put keys.
It's the 30s, guys.
I mean, not like above, like where you? Maybe
I feel like they wanted to like. I think it's like a natural like. I think in the 30s it was like natural to check that spot. So if they put it under the mat, it's not
no
as.
We'll find it.
No one will fucking know.
Except Nancy Drew.
So she grabs the key.
She's a detective.
Yeah, she's
a young
like yeah, like that's how
you could.
She like checked to see if like the back doors of the van were unlocked, and they weren't. And so she went to the front, and the front door was unlocked.
Yep.
It's like,
because why not?
Brilliant, genius. Amazing. And like this is also before automatic locks, so I guess it makes sense.
Sure.
But like she finds the keys to the van under the mat, and so she takes it. She unlocks the thing. She goes in. Bam. Finds the clock. Doesn't have time to open it then and there because she starts to hear voices.
By the way, the clock is in the back of the truck.
On top of like a thing.
Over.
She climbs. That's like the first picture.
No noise.
Yeah, like
supposedly.
First picture is Nancy climbing fucking in the trunk and finding that fucking shit. And I like how like the Corrali clock at last, Nancy exclaimed.
Let's just tell you where it is right at the beginning.
There's just like a barrel of.
I didn't even see that.
I'm like
picture. I just went right past that.
There's like I'm like looking at there's like a barrel just filled with plates in this truck.
That's where I put my playlist.
Yeah, man, that's like that's fine. That's fine. There's a briefcase anyway. But like no, she like she climbs. She basically like just like shimmies her way up on top of like all this furniture and finds the clock under like a tarp or something. So, but she starts to hear voices coming closer. So she's like, I gotta get out. So she grabs the clock. She gets out of the van. She closes it. She has the keys to the truck in her hand. So she just drops them on the ground near the driver's side and hopes that maybe they'll be like, maybe I dropped it or something or whatever. And then she hides inside of a barrel.
With the clock.
With the clock.
With the cloth over her head.
Yeah.
Clock.
And just like gets in there just in time for the dudes to open the door. And then they like, they have like a...
like the video game.
Yeah, just like that's actually would have been a thing too. It's like you have to hide. Shit. Like you're like looking around, clicking everything. Like,
where do I go? Hide in the ceiling.
Because like here's the other like with the Nancy Drew games, there's like the senior detective and junior detective. In junior detective, and like isn't there another one in like the older games that's like even crazier?
I think the older games didn't have distinction.
Oh, okay, that's probably true. But like in Junior Detective, you're like you have like your cursor is a magnifying glass, and if there's something you can investigate, it highlights red. And in some of the older games, if you do Senior Detective, none of your shit lights up. You just gotta
like the
get
mid games.
So like if you have no like if that scene happened, you just be clicking everywhere, just like I don't know. And like going around corners, like changing scenes, like where am I? Because like you'll get like prompted with like I need to hide. It's like shit, and then the music starts. You're like fuck.
Dun 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 dun.
Just panic.
And like the person who's coming is like at the door already, and the door should have been open already, but they are just standing there.
Give you just enough time to like hide. But yeah, so Nancy hides in the barrel. The three burglars have like a scuffle because like they're like, "Where's the key?" And it's like, "I put it on the mat." And they're like, "I found it on the ground." It's like, "Did you drop it?" And he's like, "I didn't. I put it on the mat."
Oh
and
my god, they're so annoying.
And then they get in the van and then they leave. That's it. That's their entire conversation.
No one finds Nancy.
And then Nancy like runs to her car, grabs a screwdriver that she has in her car, which go on you, girl, having tools on you at all times. It's good because she's like she could not wait.
I do that.
I do the shit.
I don't.
You should. It's a good idea.
It is. I'm just saying I don't do it.
So she's too excited to like not like check the clock, I guess. And so she grabs a screwdriver and she just fucking just gets in there. And like
she shakes it.
Yeah. She shakes it. She's like,
I think there's something in there. That's not, the clock.
Look, clock
it doesn't
bits.
sound like a clock.
So she opens it and she finds a book. And she's like, the fuck is this? And like, I would have loved that if she said that.
What it just took a turn.
Book? No! And she like pockets the book basically and then puts the clock in her car and then she drives to try to catch up to the van. And then as she's driving to catch up to the van, she comes across like some cops.
The manhunt that's still going on.
That manhunt that's happening. And she's like, I found them! They're a thing!
I wish I had a cell phone!
Yeah, it would be amazing right now. It's amazing how much of this mystery would have been okay if she just had a phone.
It would have been done in like a day.
Yeah, yeah. So they assist her with finding things, and a cop is just like, okay, I'll let you drive, and then I'll ride with you. And she has the clock and the thing, and she's just like, oh no, I stole the clock. How do I tell him that I stole the clock? So she just her solution is, I stole. Tell him I stole the clock.
I have this clock that I took from the guys that took it.
The cop was just like, I stole a clock. What?
Why do you have stolen merchandise in your car?
I'm solving a mystery. I'm a young sleuth, don't you know?
It's so good. And she's just like, I was looking through the furniture that they stole, and it was one of the things. And I can't remember what she I took
she
it.
She said, yeah, she's
like,
it.
I had to make sure it was from their house. It was theirs.
Then I didn't have time to put it back after I took it.
And the cop is like, okay, that's fine.
Yeah, we'll just put it back. It's
fair.
fine.
I'm wow, the 1930s.
Right.
Wow.
Forgiveness, man.
I mean, we don't have to get into police.
Yeah, we don't have to. That'll be a very deep conversation. But so he gets in the car and they drive together, and did they find the van? I can't remember.
And then they get the guys, and then she's like, yeah, those are the guys, these are their names, and they're like, oh, you know our names? And
you know our names? Every sentence you spoke, you said each other's names.
Right.
Because of the 1930s.
They're seasoned burglars, and they don't even know how to fucking not say their own
Yeah,
names.
and then they were able to use the groundskeepers testimony as well, blah blah blah, whatever. So they catch the dudes, everything's great. So now she has a book that was in the clock, and she's like, okay, what the fuck? And so she starts looking through it, and it has a bunch of Crowley's business stuff, I guess.
Weird murmurings.
And then at the end of the book, he it talks about his last will and testament, and it was.
It doesn't say much though.
Yeah,
it just said this the new one. Here's
and here's where it is, and here's the key. Yep.
Yeah, and the key is to a safety deposit box. So it will go back.
Which he put under a fake name.
Yeah.
Johnston.
Great. John Johnston. Wow,
Ooh,
John Crowley.
Original.
You're a genius.
Right. It's like Crawley John.
Crawley John.
Incognito. It's fine.
Incognito. No one will know. Everyone looks up everything by last names in the 30s. No one will ever know. Anyway, so she goes back to River Heights, and her dad is like, you're not supposed to be home, because she was supposed to be at Moon Lake for the week. And she's like, things have happened. And she basically...
I almost died.
I almost died.
He's like, I'm proud of you.
Yeah,
no consequences.
No consequences whatsoever. Her dad goes to start the process of getting authorization to open the safety deposit box. Blah blah blah. They open it and they find the will. Oh my god, it's a miracle! So they invite everyone who was due to earn something from the will. Invite them to the Drew household to read the will, basically. So the Tophams, the two girls from the farm, the Matthews, the great aunts, and the old lady who almost would have died,
but she didn't come.
But she didn't come because they were gonna give her
As
the information.
As Nancy calls her later, she was an invalid.
Yeah,
I love that.
I highlighted it. I have to find it now.
An invalid.
It's great.
Anyway, so they read the will, and that's when it's determined the girls on the farm get $20,000, the Matthews and the great aunts get $20,000, and and Mr. Topham, just Mr. Topham, gets $5,000, and that's it. And that's the entire will.
I really like when he fires his lawyer.
Yeah.
Afterwards, he's like, "You know nothing. You're fired."
You know nothing, Jon Snow.
Okay.
There you go.
He's like, well then, I can't say I'm not glad to
Yeah, and then immediately Mrs. Topham is just like, we are going to fight this! And then they try to fight it, and the last chapter is just the last chapter is called A Happy Ending for All. So it's great, thank you for giving it away. And so it's determined that they won, the Mr. Drew won the case, the will is good.
He's the best known lawyer in all of River Heights.
It is authenticated, and then...
I mean, he must be the only one, because everyone knows who he is.
It's the third. It's also a very small town. But yeah, and then it introduces the next book, and that's it. That's the entire.
I really like that the first chapter like introduces like the thieves and the will, and they end up like actually being connected.
Yeah, that's cool.
That was cool.
Yeah, that was a good it was like
good book ending.
Yeah, there wasn't a full connection between them specifically. It just ended up being connected, which is cool. Because then it was like easy to tie that up in like a nice, neat little bow, and then like present it to the reader. Like, here, all the loose ends have been tied.
I still want to go to the dance though, because Ned is there.
Yeah, he's got to be.
Ned, my love.
Ned's great. He's like the best at giving hints in the Nancy Drew games. Because you can just call him and he's just, which is like, Ned, I don't know what to do. And he's like, have you tried checking this thing? Like, Ned, you're so fucking
You're
smart,
so great. You're so smart.
With a name like Ned Nickerson, like, oh, Jesus Christ. You get to play as him in Alibi and Ashes, that game. You get to play as him, Bess, and George, because Nancy is in jail. So, like,
why?
Because she's been framed for setting fire to something.
Okay.
Yeah, it's great. It's cool. So you get to play as them because you need to, but like you have to go. So you get to go to Nancy for hints now. It's very interesting. It's like, whoa, this is totally different.
Nancy, you're so smart.
Nancy, you still don't get to see what Nancy looks like though.
No,
which is upsetting because you get to see what Bess and George look like. You don't get to see what Ned looks like because you're mainly playing as Ned.
Right.
But you get to see who Bess and George are. You get to see some of Nancy's enemies.
And then isn't it the game right after that you're with Frank and Joe in real life?
I think so.
I never played it, but Lainey played it, so I watched her play a little bit. I was like, that's Frank and Joe.
I know Alibi and Ashes came out around the time they did the remaster of Secrets Can Kill, so I don't know.
I don't know. I'm going to play them all in order, so I'll know eventually.
Yeah. Be excited for I can't remember. It's like the Curse of something. It's one
like
where you go.
One.
Yeah,
Germany.
You go to Germany, and that one was so fun for me to play because I was just like bracing the German culture. I'm like, I fucking know what this shit means. Hell yeah! Like, 'cause you have to translate some shit. I'm like, fuck yeah.
I already know.
I don't like, and like you find like a German to English translation. I'm like, I don't even fucking need this shit. Get out of here.
Must be nice.
Yeah, it was nice. There's like in one of them, I don't remember what it's called. Something. It's one of the early ones. But there's a lot of Chinese puzzles you have to do. And it's just like I have like notes like somewhere of just like all the Chinese characters that you have to find. I'm like, this is ridiculous.
There's so many. There's like 40,000.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot.
How do you know?
And you have to like of course all of them pertain to one puzzle that you have to do at the very end of the game, and you're just like, I don't know anymore. I can't. No, it's ridiculous. Most of the Nancy Drew puzzles are fucking crazy. Some of them are really easy, and some of them are like, what?
Yeah, some of them are just like actual puzzles where it's like you just have to line these things up. Then other things you have to find the one thing that you're missing.
Yeah. There's still like one puzzle. Yeah. There's like
I can't find it.
In the most recent game I played, the Waverly Academy one, it like the final puzzle, I still don't understand what it was because I didn't solve it by actually like thinking about it. I just solved it by placing stuff and hoped, like I just like kept putting stuff in places and changing it around. But like it was just like there was nothing I had that like told me why it was in the order that it was need to be, because there's like these like little like star gems that had like animals on them, and they had to be placed in a certain order, and I was like, we didn't read anything.
What is this, Silent Hill?
Yeah, and I'm so confused, and I just kept moving them around until finally it was like, it's open. I'm like, oh fuck it, Jesus Christ,
finally,
thank fucking God. Like, am I missing something?
I hate those.
Yeah. It's rough.
I hate the ones where even if you get it correct, it won't work because you haven't found the clue to tell you. So you technically aren't supposed to know. It's so dumb.
I hated that because it's like, I already know it. Because that was how it was with like the German one. It was just like, I already know it. I already know. We go into this one because this is the thing. But it's like, I haven't found the German to English translation book yet.
So Nancy doesn't know.
Yeah, Nancy doesn't know, but it's like, I fucking know.
I know. I'm smarter than Nancy. Let me play.
Please.
Let me play. Nancy, you suck.
Nancy's an idiot. like me and Brittany for a little while, we were playing Nancy Drew games together, but we play it through Skype. So she would just have her like instead of her video, it would be her monitor so that I could see it, and then we would just be talking to each other. And it was so frustrating because I would have parts of the puzzles figured out, but I couldn't tell you very well.
Yeah, it's this one. It's like, what do you mean?
It's just like, you know that piece that's up at the corner, like move your mouse slightly, like slightly
up, to the left, to the right, my right.
Usually because I'll be like pointing at it on my thing, and like, you can't see this, but I can see it. It was so stressful. Oh my god, it was so stressful.
We got it though. Yay!
Yeah, we picked
Egyptian puzzles.
Oh my god, that was so good. But like, I remember being so angry because like it was like the Tomb of the Egyptian Queen, which is a good one. It was one of the better Nancy Drew games. They're all pretty good, but that was one of the better ones. But you meet a girl, like there's like a bunch of people who want to like uncover this tomb for like their own personal gain of some kind, and you meet this girl who's standing. You find out she's like a part of this undercover secret organization, whatever. But when you first meet her, she starts talking about aliens that came down and helped build the tombs, and I got so angry. And like, you remember this? I was just like mad for the rest of the game. Like, I hate this woman. We need to kill her. Don't care how. We need to destroy her. And then
when is it gonna happen? Let's push her into it.
Yeah, I was just like mad for the rest of the game. And like, and then you find out at the end that she doesn't believe that, and it's just like she was just there.
Her cover.
Yeah, her cover, and I'm like, stupid. Let her be dead. Oh my god, it made me so angry. I was like, really, we're gonna have this conversation? I think the minute she was like, oh well, the aliens, I'm like, no.
I know, she started off normal for like 2 minutes.
Yeah, like, oh, like, I like her, she's cool, and then she's like, the aliens, I'm like, fuck!
You know, otherwise she was super cool and normal and like giggly and stuff.
Yeah, like, she's super nice, and then I just soured everything, and I was like, I hate everything about this woman. And there was a snake. I remember there was a snake on someone's bed, and it attacked us, because we were like, look, a snake! And then we just, like, touched it.
What do we do? Let's touch it.
Just immediately grab it. It's fine.
I still have those.
Oh, fucking Nancy Drew. It was just a good time. It was just a good time. But yeah, I definitely think for a book, Nancy Drew is great. But she's so much better as a game. Like, so much better.
Yeah.
Because it's way more fun to solve. Like, and I think, I don't know. I think it's just because, like, mystery books can be interesting. But since there's not much that happens in this book...
Yeah, there wasn't really any danger.
Yeah, there wasn't any danger. There wasn't any, like...
There wasn't anything, like, tense that was like, oh, we lost this piece of evidence and now we're not going to win the case.
Yeah, there was no, like, tense moment. Like, anything that tense happened resolved pretty quickly. Like, there wasn't a tense moment that lasted.
Yeah. Like,
for a while.
Right.
And, like, so you don't get that, like, proper resolution feeling of, like, oh my god, relief. So, like, but because of that, it's just, like, the mystery is there, and the mystery is set up pretty decently, but they're so much more fun as games. Like, because, like, you're much more involved, and the puzzles are more interesting, because there's no puzzles at all.
Yeah. And Nancy is still Nancy, where, like, she doesn't really have a personality other than the weird, quirky line here or there. Yeah. But, so you get to, like, put yourself in. Yeah. And you get to yell at the characters, but Nancy's all nice, so it's fine, but you get to yell.
Yeah. Yeah, Nancy is a sweetheart. She's a very bland sweetheart. She's just nice. She's just really nice. And you get to be angry. Yes. You get to be... I like to think that when we're playing Nancy Drew, we're Nancy's subconscious. And we're just what she wants to say. And she's our nice little filter.
Yeah, there was that one moment where she was like, I want to say something nasty, but I won't. And I was like, oh, say it. Say it.
Do it. Do it, please. And, like, I feel like that's what, like... I feel like the games give you that, like, more so, like, what's the word I'm looking for?
I don't know.
It gives you just, like, a nicer feeling of, like, accomplishment, I guess. Mainly because, one, you're
actually doing it.
You're doing stuff. But, like, even in, like, when you're reading other mystery books, there's still, like, you still feel a part of it. And you still feel like, yes, we did it. We accomplished it. But, like, you don't really have time to, like...
Yeah.
Feel engrossed into, like, whatever's happening, because, like...
And there's not like a Watson character that you get to be.
Yeah,
with
yeah.
the Sherlock who's just like the genius.
Yeah, yeah. There's like any tense moment or any like question that she has about something gets resolved almost immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Like we have the overlying mystery of what happened to the will, but like you're always learning so much information about everything that you don't feel like you're never not stumped or anything.
Yeah, and there's definitely so much more that went on with like Crowley and all that stuff, and the 2 dudes that died, and all these little details that it's like we didn't actually solve what happened.
We just found the will.
We just found the will.
We just did one part.
Why can't we solve the maybe murder?
Yeah, yeah. Have we thought about that? I feel like it's a lead. I don't know.
Maybe that's like, the hidden staircase. I don't remember.
Yeah, like it's just like it just moves so fast that you don't get to have like a proper mystery experience. And it's like still like a good read and it's a good time, but it just like it doesn't lend itself. Yeah, it's just fast, which is why I think the games are better. I like that this podcast turned into which better, the Nancy Drew books or the Nancy Drew games, and like clearly the fucking games.
Well, because they have the puzzles.
Yeah, the
like,
puzzles.
Without the puzzles, they're exactly the same.
Yeah, the story is completely there, like the same thing. But because of the like we said, there's no puzzles in this.
And when you're playing the game and you get stuck on a puzzle, you're stuck in the plot. Like you can't do anything.
Yeah, exactly.
So you're just like, let me go talk to everyone again. Let me look at every room again. So that takes more time.
Let me look through all my items.
What am I missing?
With this, like, there's no puzzle, so like, I feel like it would have benefited if there was like one really big puzzle or something,
like a mirror puzzle.
Or like a mirror puzzle. So like Nancy gets
that
like
would be
stuck.
easy to narrate.
Yeah. But like something that Nancy gets stuck on. So one, you feel like her frustration because like
then you're trying to figure out. And
and like you're trying to figure it out. Yeah. And it would immediately make the book
and then you
more
connect over your frustration.
Yeah. But like because Nancy is so proper and so nice in these books, and extremely lucky, there's never a moment where she's not stuck. She knows exactly what she needs to do. Yeah. She immediately gets like leads immediately, and like when she finds the key to the safety deposit,
how easy it is.
I hate.
I'm like, well, I mean, just hand it to her.
Yeah, just give her whatever the fuck you want. Who cares?
I know. When they were opening the safety deposit box, the guy was like, "We can't take whatever's in there out," and then they take it out.
You don't even look at it. Yeah.
And then they took it out.
Yeah.
Then they made copies of it.
Yeah, and like anytime like she like had anything that needed to be done, she would just give it to her dad.
Yeah,
and her dad would take it.
Hey, Dad, here you go. Thanks for
helping. And like in the games, your dad ain't there. Your dad don't help you.
Yep. And when you do senior detective, your friends don't really help you either.
Not at all.
No one helps you.
You're alone. But yeah, so it's just like it's. I don't know. It's interesting. I definitely think it's a good book to read, especially if you're getting your kid
for children.
It's definitely like
as a YA, because she is a young
adult,
so...
which is interesting that like she's a young adult, but it's a young reader's book, which is interesting. It's interesting that they chose that age to go with.
1930s.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's not really a lot of. Well, okay, that's a lie. Never mind. I was like, there's more series in like kids that like last longer, like in even like adult. Well, in adult there is a lot, but in YA like there's not. Like they
don't really go beyond a trilogy.
Yeah, exactly. Like there's some of them that have like 5 or something,
5 or 6,
but like,
but it's not like 100.
Right.
Yeah.
Like Nancy Drew.
The Hardy Boys or the Warrior series, which is another young reader thing or whatever. Magic Treehouse, like fucking Judy Moody.
Fuck yeah, Judy Moody. Like technically, a series of unfortunate events is.
Oh yeah, that's a young reader too.
But that one's is like one where it's like it's meant for young readers, but it feels like it could be
it's
for.
It's very dark for young readers.
It's so good.
I always
Have you watched the Netflix series?
Yes, it's so good.
Neil Patrick Harris.
He's so good. He's
perfect.
So good.
Okay.
Yeah, bye. We should do a series of Unfortunate Events, I guess.
Not next. What are we doing next?
Yeah,
what are we doing next? What's next month? May? Should we do something mom-related?
Oh, yeah, because it is Mother's Day.
Or Memorial Day related, or springtime related, or end of school year related.
End of school year might be like
books. What would you suggest?
Yeah,
I'm just putting it out there.
About graduation.
Or we can start like the Vampire Academy. We could start like we could do one of a series and then do a standalone and then do the next of that series.
Oh, do must reads for graduates.
Like a
Starlet's Web. Is that
what?
Starlet's Run. The Clay Lines. Starlet's Like. There's a lot of Starlet books. Jesus.
But yeah, I don't know. Do we want to do just a random whatever we want to do book?
I mean, I'm fine with that. I like that idea.
Hey, look, hush, hush. A lot of Gail Foreman.
Yeah, a lot, yeah. If I Stay, but not a good book.
Yeah, I own that one. Hey, why don't we just do a random?
Yeah, we can just do a random book. I like that idea.
Like what? What should we do?
No, not something you already own.
I'm just looking because like it gives me ideas.
It's a little library of inspiration.
Yeah, it's a little library. So it gives it's inspiration.
Do we want to do like a specific genre? Like, do we want to start there?
Yeah, we can start with a genre. Any specific? Because we
did angel. We did mystery.
Okay. Yeah, I was like, both of those angels were technically romance.
Okay, so we did angel / romance.
Thing or
yeah,
something.
Fantasy. I'm into fantasy. I'm currently reading Six of Crows. You want to do that one?
Yeah,
Did you not like it?
No, I've heard it's terrible.
Yeah, it's so far not great.
Okay, well then I don't want to.
Yeah, I want to read something fun.
I want to read something good. Let's see. Let me
trying to think what's not popular, but
somewhat recently. Yeah, you're the one who works at a bookstore.
I know. There's nothing really that like.
Let's look up new releases. What's something new?
YA and fantasy.
Mhm.
I'm gonna lose our last year.
We could do the one I hate.
Which is
there's a lot of those.
Which one you hate?
A Court of Thorns and Roses. Oh yeah, that one.
Because that one came up.
Yeah, I have. Both me and Brittany have read it, and we have emotions about
Guys.
I hate it. I hate it so much.
Something that none of us has read.
We're trying. It's hard.
It's so bad.
I thought I had my.
What are these?
Children of
How do I find
The Wicked Deep? That looks cool.
Let's see. We want fantasy.
I thought that said the final sex and not the final six.
No, I don't want that shit.
Children of Blood and Bone? Oh, I've heard this one's pretty good.
Is that's a... I thought that was a series.
It's book Legacy of Orisha, #1.
Yeah, I'm also looking at The Wicked Deep, which is near that too. It's about 3 witches.
Ooh.
So that's there's 3 of us.
It's us.
Let's see. Where 2 centuries ago, 3 sisters were sentenced to death for witchery.
Is it YA though?
It's in the YA new releases. Yeah.
The Cursed Town of Sparrow. Awesome name.
Nice, love it. Now, for a brief, some of the sisters return, stealing the bodies of 3 weak-hearted girls that they may seek their revenge. Luring
Let's do
boys.
that one.
Okay.
Yeah, that sounds good.
The Wicked Deep. Okay.
Yeah, The Wicked Deep. But only Penny. See, ooh, there's a girl named Penny. That's cool.
Yay! Love that name. Okay, The Wicked Deep.
Yeah, so that'll be our next one. Sweet, it looks cool.
Yeah,
so
we're gonna do The Wicked Deep by Shea Earnshaw. Or Shea? Shea. Earnshaw.
Probably just Shay. I think just Shay.
Shea Earnshaw. Cool.
And how do you spell Earnshaw?
ERNSHAW.
Cha.
Dude, fuck yeah, let's read Fahrenheit 451.
No.
Oh, dude, we should read Little Women at some point.
Oh my god, yes.
I haven't read that book since I was a kid,
Same.
too.
Oh my god. We have to.
See,
In the future.
Yeah,
Let's try to stay in the nowadays.
As like, yeah, we should, as like away from podcasts, make a list of books that we kind of want to read for the pod. Like that way, we kind of can compile that together,
Great
and
idea.
then that way we can kind of pick and choose
Yeah.
before like the podcast, so we already
Great
have
idea.
it decided. Because then we can like put like Vampire Academy and some of the other books we've talked about wanting to like read.
Dude, this author, I think I just fell in love with her.
What was one of her? What? Why?
No! I lost it. Come back. I just love that, like, she's an Oregon native and YA author. She often writes late into the night, enjoys dark woods, scary stories, and moonlight on lakes.
Fuck yeah.
Favorite person. Her website?
She works as a producer for film production.
Dude. Let's
She has a dog
become
named
best
Diesel.
friends. Ooh, I love her website. It's so pretty.
What does it look like? Hold on, I'm gonna pull it up.
Okay, looks like we're coming to the end of this.
Yeah, we are. Sorry, we're just
Say
looking
goodbye
at this.
before we just go on our computer here.
No.
Aw,
Website is
that's
cute.
so cute.
Oh yeah, her name
Go check
is
her
Shay. Yep.
Yeah, Shay.
Cool. Think
Fuck yeah.
Shea butter, the ingredient in many lotions and soaps.
Shea Moisture is the soap I use.
Nice. Alright, anyway, so we're doing The Wicked Deep next. Yay!
Woo. Ooh.
When?
See you next
What time?
time.
What time? When?
When? Oh, fuck. When is?
When's the date?
Because the 12th would be our next podcast date, and that would technically be a discussion one. But we've decided to cut out discussion ones, right? And just do book ones.
Yeah.
So do we want to do the 26th, which is...
Or do we want to put it in the middle?
Or do the 19th and pop it in the middle there.
I'm free either,
Yeah, I'll be free.
as far as I know. As of right now.
As of this moment, I am free. So we need to lock this in now.
I can do the 19th.
Perfect.
It is.
19th it is.
Sweet. So the 19th, May 19th, 2018. Be there or be
Heck yeah.
Square.
square like
Square, like a rump or a trapezoid.
Done. Put it on the calendar.
Cool.
Heck.
So
Okay, goodbye.
Are we doing these just once a month now?
I guess so, because like I still don't have a lot of time to read, so
I literally finished this book today.
yeah.
I mean, I could try to put some more time aside to do this, and hopefully this book seems interesting enough that I'd want to actually read it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hoping. Unless
That's-
it's terrible.
that's- Having problems with is
Yeah.
Getting
Oh yeah.
into-
motivation.
Which is why I'm glad
yeah.
we're kind of moving in a direction of like books that we kind of actually want to read, because then like
We
we
could
won't
do a
feel
mix.
yeah, we can kind of do like every now and then we could kind of, because there's still going to be moments probably where we're going to be like, I hated this book, and someone else is going
Right.
to love it. So like there's still going to be that disconnect no matter what. But yeah, so it's just like when like we were doing like strictly bad YA, it was just like, oh no.
It's like work.
I mean, I read Hush Hush in like 3 days.
Yeah.
Fallen took me forever.
Yeah, Fallen took me a while because I was
I think
dying.
I read that one pretty fast, but that was just because I had a lot of extra time at work.
Yeah. And like this one breezed through like instantly. So like
I mean,
Kindle
it
says
was
the read time is 2 hours. So
that's accurate. That's pretty accurate. And considering I was reading it when I should have been paying attention at work, it's pretty accurate.
all right. Anyway, so
Anyway,
May 19th, The Wicked Deep. That's what we're doing. Cool.
Yeah.
okay.
All right.
Okay, bye.
Sign off. Thing.
Peace out, my dudes.
Bye.
Bye.
Get off now.